Hey, Sagittarius, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your October 2025 monthly reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what October has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we have self-love. This is a beautiful undercurrent, Sag, that is flowing through your energy field. This is about you focusing on creating a balanced lifestyle that feels good to you, good for your mind, good for your body, good for your spirit. This is about acceptance, accepting that there are things you cannot change and the wisdom to know what things you can. I feel like you are focusing on rest and restoring and rejuvenating your energy. Yeah, you are going through a metamorphosis. You have the death card out here as your supporting energy. You're going through some changes at this time. And after every ending comes a new beginning. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. There's the new beginning. There's the message here or the news that may come through that changes everything. Now, the Page of Cups is playful. The Page of Cups reminds you that vulnerability is a must when it comes to opening ourselves up towards new experiences. I have a feeling you are being asked to get in touch with the magic of your own life. Some of you have gone through the ending of a relationship, of a job. For some of you, you are cutting out old patterns, old habits or beliefs that you've outgrown or that no longer serve you, that may have been based in fear or scarcity. I feel like you have come a long way on your journey, Sagittarius, and you are doing this thing called life based on what you want for yourself. And that's where the self-love piece comes in. It's not selfish to make choices based on what you want instead of leaning into external validation or people pleasing or carrying the burdens that may or may not even be yours to carry. I feel like this self-love piece has been so pivotal when it's come to your own spiritual journey. And this is about having the confidence, really going within and saying to yourself, like getting honest with yourself about what you are ready to release and let go of and what you can invite into your world, because I certainly see that there are new doorways opening up for you, and it requires truth. It requires you to tune into the portal of your heart, to listen to that inner voice and take a little bit of time out for yourself to appreciate peace and quiet, to appreciate stillness. And that's what this energy is all about. Let's dive in here and take a look at your key themes. Key themes for the month include wanderlust. Your gypsy soul has been activated. Some of you may even be traveling this month. You could be booking a trip, an excursion, a cruise. You could even be visiting some local establishments that you've never been to before. This could be a new restaurant, or it could be that you are taking a mini weekend getaway, or there could even be some time off of work and you are, you're doing a staycation. And I feel like there's also this energy of, I want to explore new lands. I have new stories to tell. I have new people to meet. I have new adventures waiting. So it feels like this is really a doorway, a portal opening up for you as we approach and near Sagittarian season. I feel like you are activating a part of yourself. This part of yourself is all about, discovery. And it is discovery of the self, where you are opening yourself to curiosity and potential. And I feel like you are being guided to think outside the box. Now, some of you could even be relocating. You may be pivoting here in your career, maybe thinking outside the box when it comes to new income sources. You may be looking at real estate or working internationally, working around the globe, because this is giving me a world vibe. Now, I see here that congratulations will soon be yours. It feels like there is a win. There is some form of success and accomplishment, but it may come closer towards, I'm getting like the end of the year or closer to Sagittarian or even Capricorn season. But I do see that you have worked long and hard to get to where you are at, and you deserve this win. You deserve some form of accomplishment here. You could even be going backpacking, spending time in nature. Some of you are enjoying the beautiful autumn colors. If you live in the northern hemisphere and you are witnessing some of the changing colors on the leaves, you could be flying. I am getting flight instructor. Some of you may be wanting to get your pilot's license, or you could be traveling by boat as well. I'm getting transportation, possibly public transportation. I mean, you could even be, riding on a train. But I feel like there's this energy of movement, there's an energy of travel, and there's an energy of momentum that is building here for you. Next, you have awakening. Sag, this is a soul quenching awakening that is occurring within you. This is the phoenix rising from the ashes, and no wonder, because you have been undergoing a personal metamorphosis, and that's where the butterfly comes out of the cocoon and it starts to learn this new life. It spreads its wings, and it's no longer the same version that it was, months prior. And I feel like you are waking up to this truth. You are no longer the same Sag that you were weeks ago, months ago, years ago, and you are ready to spread your wings in some capacity here. It feels like through this rebirth, through this spiritual rebirth, you're starting to meet yourself. You're meeting yourself on a more vulnerable, more intimate level than perhaps you've ever known yourself. This is about spiritual enlightenment. You are starting to see things from a holistic point of view. You're starting to see things from a spiritual or a higher perspective, and that allows you to observe. It allows you to become aware of the ego, become aware of patterns, to become aware of life's lessons, but it also puts you in a position here of growth. And I see here that you are not only growing, but you have the ability to coach, mentor, or teach or help others in some way. Now, this could be personally in your life. You may be a motivating force for your family. You could be an inspirational piece for your family. And for others of you, this is within your career sector. And you could be advancing your own spiritual gifts in some way where you're able to help others out. Because many of you are light workers. Many of you are tapping into this space within that is being reignited. This passion within you is being reignited. It's like you're falling in love with life again, or falling in love with the joys around you. It's like you're seeing love in all things. That's what this awakening is bringing you. Next, you have milestone, and that is that congratulatory energy that I'm picking up on here. I feel like you are moving into a period of your life that does feel very successful. Whatever success means for you, Sagittarius. Perhaps this is success in your career. This could be a healthy, vibrant life where you're feeling good in your body. Some of you, this has to do with relationships and family dynamics, and we are going to tune into all of those categories here today. Now, milestones is also about rewards. Some of you have a reward that you will be offered. This could be through like a certification. It could be a promotion. It could be some form of like medal. Okay. Some of you could even be like runners or joggers in some way. Like you could be running a marathon. I don't know if they hand out medals for that, but it feels like there could be some sort of physical, tangible reward that you achieve. And so you have success showing up at the bottom here. So this is a big month for you. Now, diving into your theme of the month, you have the death card, right? That's death and rebirth. You are waking up to your highest potential, which means timelines are shifting. You are shifting out of an old version of yourself, an old persona or a role that you have played. This could be a part of who you were in a relationship in the past. It could be old patterns. Whatever it is for you, I feel like you are welcoming an open door, because it's getting you closer to this achievement or this success that you are wanting for yourself. And I feel like this metamorphosis, even though it's been a little challenging at times, this is about you taking a look at inner wonder and embracing the change. Because in the past, there may have even been a refusal to acknowledge some form of transformation. And sometimes we do that subconsciously or unconsciously. We're not even aware that we are hanging on to what must die. And I see here that there's this awareness that you have within you saying, wow, I have let this go, or this is something that I have shed as I'm walking into an honest version of myself. So pat yourself on the back, be proud, excuse me, of how far you have come, Sag. And I feel like you are someone that people look up to. You are someone that inspires. I feel like not only are you a dreamer, but you are a doer, meaning if you have a dream, you can visualize it and you also have the capacity to back it up. And that's what's coming through here for you. What are we being guided to release? What habits or patterns or beliefs are you being asked to let go of? People pleasing. Queen of Cups energy can be people pleasing. It can be taking things way too personally. And it can also be drama, where you are being guided to let those energies go and focus on what it is that you want, what it is that you desire. And the Queen of Cups is also someone who's highly psychic, highly empathic, highly intuitive. You are a healer, but you can still be helpful. You can still be a healer without taking on other people's stuff. You can still be a healer without trying to fix, but to guide and to coach. And these may be traits that you've been working on by filling your own cup up with self-love first, because then you're able to not doubt your own self, not doubt your beautiful gifts and your journey. You may have struggled at times trusting in your own self, trusting that you were making the right choices that were best for you in that moment. And I see here that you are coming to a space where you're really opening yourself up, opening that heart of yours up to new experiences, experiences that bring you joy, experiences that open you up to happiness, but it starts within. And you have been focusing on creating that peace and happiness within so that it flows out into your outer world, not the other way around first. This is about you having more confidence here. It is about you looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I love you. It is about you taking a look at your past experiences and not judging yourself or not judging others. I'm getting a little bit of that judgment energy here that you've had to face, like a judgment call. And I feel like you've released and you've let go of a lot. And you have faced fears, right? You have come face to face with some very difficult obstacles here, but I feel like you are strengthening your intuitive backbone and you're not letting any beliefs that tell you you're not good enough or that you have to focus on everybody else's happiness and put yourself on the back burner. That is something you are not allowing, or you're not going to ever do that again. I feel like you are choosing yourself. You've made a soul pact with yourself never to abandon you and to focus on, mending and healing your own heart, but also allowing yourself to not become bitter. I always say we can become better or we can become bitter. The choice is ours. We can let life's hard knocks shut us down, close our heart off to love, off to joy. But because you have the Page of Cups here at the bottom of the deck, yes, you may have gone within. You may have had to put up a self-defensive wall to work on some of your own things. But I feel like you have a beautiful heart here, and you are opening up to your own personal discoveries. Now, what are you being guided to focus on? Where should you place your energy and attention? We have the Queen of Swords. Now, Queen of Swords is Libran energy here, and we move into the month of October in Libra season. Now, she is the queen of communication. So this could either be you leaning into this archetype where you are being guided to speak up, to be assertive, to be intellectual here, to clear up any miscommunications by being fully transparent, fully honest. Now, the Queen of Swords, she sees through BS. And I feel like that's what you are being guided to focus on, is clearing away the illusions, shattering any sort of illusions or even glass ceilings that have held you back with that death energy here that you've been undergoing. It's been a personal transformation, but you are being guided to focus your direction, focus your energy towards what it is that you are wanting, whatever that milestone, that accomplishment is here, wanderlust or the awakening. You know what direction this is for you. So try not to let the hows, try not to let the distractions get in the way of you getting there. And I see that you are also being asked to trust in divine detours. Sag, there's been some divine detours that you've had to face. And I see that you are getting honest with yourself, and it's like you're communicating with your higher self even, and you're receiving answers, you're receiving clarity, you're receiving awareness. And by feeling things out from, again, not just a logical perspective, but being able to open that beautiful heart and live and lead with both the head and the heart in the same direction, that's where miracles happen. Because there may have been some emotional baggage that you have been working on letting go of. Okay, that's the Queen of Cups. Now moving into the Queen of Swords is saying, okay, now my head is clear. Now I feel like I have direction. Now I have released some baggage that was mine, or maybe it wasn't, but I feel like I'm finally coming up out of this phase and I'm moving on to what's next. So let's look at the hidden influence. You have a new beginning here with the Fool. This is about spontaneity, thinking outside the box, as I've mentioned. It is about taking a leap of faith into a new beginning. Because we have the Death here, I see that there's something opening up for you, actually sooner rather than later. And it feels like you are going through this period, but by the time January rolls around of 2026, Aquarian season, it feels like you will fully be immersed into this new beginning where something of the past will be an afterthought. It will not be the center of the focus, where right now you're still kind of in one world and not quite in the other, where you're in that in-between phase. But what you don't see, right, the hidden influence is something is opening up for you that feels very profound. This is Alice, right? Alice has the white rabbit here. And you see that she's ready. She's ready to go down the rabbit hole. And there's curiosity, there's discovery, there's vulnerability. And I see that you are going to be put in a very, very favorable position here. Now, another message that's coming through is you are being guided to trust in your own abilities and express yourself through your throat chakra. For some of you, this is going to be song, maybe singing. Some of you are public speakers, or perhaps you're being guided to share your story in some way. And I feel like that is part of the Fool's journey here, because some of you are opening up to a brand new life. You could be moving to a brand new location that you've never been before. Some of you, it could be in a different country. It could be in a different continent. Maybe it's a different state, a different town or city. But I also feel like you are meeting someone new. Some of you, this is as entering into a new contract with someone that you have never been in a contract with before. This could be a new job opportunity that feels brand new. It feels fresh. It feels exciting, but it also brings up, some concerns, but I feel like those emotions are part of the experience, but you're not going to let some of the heavier emotions drag you down. You're going to feel them, you're going to honor them, but then you're going to release them. And you're going to say the excitement, the hope of the new beginning outweighs any of the fears. Now, what is your support? What is your ally at this time? Now, this could be an energy, it could be a person, or it could be a tool that is helping you out. The Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands showing up is a decision point. So you have the choice here. You've been asking the universe for a sign. Many of you have been praying. Many of you have been asking for direction, asking for guidance. And the energy showing up here with this too is exploration. You are being guided here to move down a path that you've never taken before. And be mindful. Be mindful of procrastination, which I don't feel like you are going to procrastinate, not with that Page of Cups here, because your heart is open to wonder, your heart is open to awe. But the Two of Wands as your ally is saying, trust that the universe is sending you signs, that there is forward movement, but you have to be willing to explore, right? That Alice energy, you have to be willing to go down the rabbit hole in a way and open yourself up to magic, open yourself up to discovery and to possibility. So there's a path that's coming up, a juncture point, and you are being guided to take the path less traveled, right? Do something that, not everyone has done. Maybe this is an unconventional path, or it could be that you are trying something that hasn't been done before within your business or your career. And there may be some fears of, well, what if it fails, right? But what if it flies? What if it really takes off? And I see here that, you have milestone coming through. So this new beginning is leading to something very, very victorious. Now, what is the outcome? What is the lesson here, or what October will ultimately teach you? Ace of Truth. You have the Ace of Swords here. This is a new understanding. This is truth through logic, which the Queen of Swords holds the Ace of Swords. So you are cutting through the fluff, cutting through illusions. If you hit a glass ceiling in an area of your life, you're shattering it this month, because the 10 energy also breaks down to a 1, and 1s are new beginnings. And I see here, this is about authenticity. I feel like many of you are carrying a vision. Many of you have a vision that is starting to open up for you. Your third eye might start activating visions through your dreams, through your meditations. This could even be your daydreams, Sag. So pay attention to some of those thoughts that are coming through, because they are intuitive nudges from the universe that are also helping guide you towards your next action steps. So there's definitely truth and understandings and awareness coming in here. Yeah, and I just looked at awakening. You have the word truth and spiritual enlightenment showing up. And I'm getting is it the movie like The Sword and the Stone, where the boy, puts the sword in the stone and magic happens? I don't know the basis of that. It feels like, is the sword in, like, not anybody can just go up to that. It has to be in the hands of that boy. So there's something here about it being you, like you choosing this for you, or, embracing your own authenticity. Like nobody else can do it for you. You are the one that is going and, placing the sword in the stone. I don't know how that connects. So if you guys know the backstory of that, drop it in the comment section. Let me know. So the sword and the stone. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit of health here. Now, of course, please see a professional if need be. But regarding your energetic health, that could in turn, of course, show up in your physical world. We do have the death here. Now, death can rule the groin, the elimination organs of the body, such as the the bladder, the urethra, the prostate, the colon. It can be genitals. It can be, like pubic area, and even hernias. So be mindful of elimination centers. Some of you may feel constipated. There could be like a run off as well. I'm also getting like a bout of like upset stomach. So there could even be, I don't know if this is food poisoning or IBS, or some of you may be working on releasing and letting go of stuff, and that could show up in the eliminating organs here. Now, some of you may also have had issues with the sacral chakra. Now, sacral can be like reproductive area, can even be lower back. And I see that there's going to be healing, massive healing around this area. So 2 inches below the navel and even into your root chakra. So there's a lot of that healing taking place here for you, Sagittarius. Now, we also have the Fool. Now, the Fool energy can be it can be things that are out of your control at times, or it can be sudden, like an onset of certain diseases, but it's also dis-ease. So you're looking at any dis-ease in your own life, because the Fool is ruled by, I believe, Uranus, which rules like power plants and technology and electricity. So there could be something here with radiation. So be mindful. Some of you may be guided to unplug, to get away from like towers, social media. Maybe you're taking a bit of a social media sabbatical, or you're getting out in nature. Maybe you're getting out in the woods where there's not a lot of service, but it is the biggest connection that you will find within yourself. So the Fool energy can be, being mindful of, I'm getting like brain fog and also like clumsiness. So circadian rhythm may have been thrown off balance. So some of you, this Libran energy is restoring order, restoring balance in the body. And I see that you're also, again, being mindful of the things that are out of your control, but I feel like you are taking preventative action. So for example, like the foods that you eat, perhaps you're buying more local, buying more whole foods, buying more organic. You're being mindful of what you are putting on your skin. Maybe being mindful of the makeup you use, the shampoo and conditioner, the soap, the deodorant, right? The laundry detergent, what you are burning in your home, or, it just feels like you're being mindful of the things that you can control, even though there are certain things that are out of our control here. All right. Self-love tells me that this could be a wonderful month for you to get a good massage, for you to take some time for yourself and to disconnect from responsibilities for an hour, for a day, for a weekend, for a week, if you're blessed enough to. And I see that you're really starting to accept, right? Accept certain things that you cannot change. Now, speaking of chakras, you also have here the base chakra, the root chakra, which I had mentioned. This is about courage. It's about faith. And the message for you is this: I embrace courage, faith, and adaptability, as they are needed for me to overcome my fear of change or of the future. Hello, Death card. I regularly remind myself to be positive and open to possibilities, knowing that I am the creator of my own destiny. There's the Fool. I embrace the warrior within me. I remind myself to be a warrior, not a worrier. I am not a victim. I feel the fear and I do it anyway. I am ready and eager to move forward. And remember earlier the message of movement, public transportation, whether it's, it's a train, whether it's a boat, whether it's a plane, it feels like there's forward momentum. You could be getting something like off the ground. Maybe you're launching. Some of you are moving up out of this space, and it feels like it could be quite quickly as well. So you are eager. There's this eagerness. There's this fiery passion and drive that is showing up here. Even though I don't see, a ton of that fire. I mean, we have some air showing up, but I feel like launch, like you're launching, you're ready to launch after maybe like a failure to launch in some way. All right, let's look at career, finances, money, and wealth. We have parenthood. Healing your inner child will help you make money. For some of you, this cute little page of cups here is you. This could be your inner child. And I see that some of you may have been working on embracing your inner child, letting little him or her come out and play, or asking, what do you need at this time? You could be a caregiver, a teacher, a parent, a pediatrician, or in any career centered around children. I see that this may be a big focus for many of you, whether it is nurturing and taking care of your own inner child or connecting to the energy of playfulness with that page of cups. It says here, don't forget to nurture yourself while you work towards your goals, which has been a big theme here for you because we have a lot of goals. We have a lot of responsibilities and, we have a lot of everyday things that we do in our lives, but make sure that you are staying hydrated. Make sure that you are taking care of and listening to your body. Be sure that you are taking time to adequately rest, taking a look at your sleep cycles and finding ways to reduce stress and anxiety in your life. These are all acts of self-love and self-care that's at the bottom here of the deck. Next, we have student energy, which the pages are students. They're students of life. And some of you are being guided to fall back into the student mentality in some way, the openness, the willingness to discover, the willingness to believe in magic, because you have the wisdom, right? You're showing up as double queen energy here. Queen of cups, queen of swords, regardless if you're female or male. You are embracing what life has to offer, but I feel like you are someone who's very headstrong, but also you have a very loving heart. But you may be working with a mentor to learn new skills, or perhaps you're teaching yourself how to implement your plans because many of you are teachers. I think I mentioned that earlier. You could be a teacher in some capacity, whether it's a spiritual guide or a teacher. Maybe you're a teacher in the traditional sense. You could work with children. Maybe you're a college professor. But I see here that you are teaching yourself to succeed with money. Some of you are getting a financial advisor, and you could even be in a school to pursue higher education, or maybe you're taking online courses or classes. Some of you are being guided to expand your skills, expand your knowledge in some way to help you become an even better mentor for those around you, whether it's your children, whether it's your clients, whether it's your coworkers or your family, because you are a learner of life. And I feel like you are always learning new ways to be a better version of yourself or to help others in some way. And lastly, we have the chess card here. This is about strategizing. I feel like you have been strategizing. You have been planning with that Two of Wands. Remember, that's the support. That's the ally, because you are preparing to launch. You are preparing for a big change, especially around the beginning of the year, around your birthday for many of you. This is about you thinking things through. You are a natural leader. And I have a feeling, Sagittarius, 2026 is going to be one of the best years that you've had out of the last decade. Okay, that's the message I'm getting here. Some of you have had a difficult decade, or even like the last 5 years is what I'm getting here. I mean, we know what went down 5 years ago, but some of you have really struggled since that time. Maybe you've struggled with the loss of a loved one here. Some of you, this was a divorce, or you have gone through changes within your career. But I see that you have been planning wisely, and some of you could even be retiring, or you're moving into, again, one of your best eras to date, and especially the last decade. But this feels like it's been a long time coming, and you are worthy of making this move. But some of you, you didn't want to make a rash move So the Fool is reminding you of a calculated risk, something that you've already thought through. It doesn't feel like this is, sprung into, oop, here's a whole new life. This is something that you already knew about or you've been in the midst of. Like I said, between kind of two worlds here, not quite out of the old, not quite into the new, where you're in that like limbo stage at times, but you are planning your next move and it feels like it's coming in here. This month is some sort of truth, awareness, or understanding, but then within the next 2 months, you're going to see the physical evidence of this unfolding for you. Beautiful. So there could be a new invitation, a new offer for you regarding a new job. Some of you may even have a counter offer. So for example, if you leave a company and move towards a new position, your current company could say, well, I'll match what they're going to pay you, or they may try to keep you in some way. I'm also getting here, Sag, you may branch off. If you are a business owner, you could have a new idea that you branch off and it maybe brings your business back to life, or, it allows you to expand here in a new direction. So I love this Ace of Swords coming in with the Fool. You're definitely in this mental space to be able to expand and to grow and to keep your eye on the prize. Now let's look at relationships, partnerships, family. We have there's the ship. Some of you are definitely loving the water. Maybe you're going on a cruise, as I mentioned, but this is about cutting ties, moving on. You've received what you've needed, and now you are coming to a point where you've done a lot of healing. You have progressed in your journey, and you have arrived. You're exactly where you are meant to be. And that means that there are some people from the past that are no longer with you. They're no longer a part of this journey. And I see that you've learned a lot about whatever this was that you've gone through here. And a lot of you have worked through limitations, especially around the mind and limited thinking here. You've worked on refreshing any outdated beliefs of yours or events that have played out over and over and over in your head, wondering what you could have did or could have done, should have done, or how you could have handled things. You actually did everything that you knew in that moment. So try not to go back and beat yourself up over a situation here, because that's where that judgment energy that I was picking up on earlier comes through. Now it's time to consider your next move and where you wish to be. Lastly, we have the Runner. Now, the Runner can be connected to that sacral chakra, fear of intimacy. Some of you are dealing with other individuals where, there was an inconsistency and it feels like there's running away, maybe avoidant tendencies, but sometimes something can come in quite intense, quite hot, and then it erupts or leaves just as quickly. And there was a fleeting energy about this, like tumultual, fleeting energies. So I feel like that is something you are not going to get caught up in again, because you've learned how to pay attention to these signs, or you've learned about what these red flags may mean for you. I mean, this could even be self-sabotaging behaviors. And I see that you are getting intimate and vulnerable and close with yourself again. You've had to strip back the layers of conditioning here to really get to know yourself on a deeper level than you ever have. And that was one of the first messages that came through for you. For those of you that may be open to love or wanting love, I feel like there could be a connection, maybe meeting someone. Someone could reach out to you, perhaps online. The Ace of Swords can be technology, even though earlier we were talking about taking like a technology break. Some of you may have taken a little bit of a break here, but I do see with this Ace of Swords, this is about communication and truth. So it feels like you are connecting in ways that you're able to fully be yourself without being silenced, without feeling like you're walking on eggshells, or without feeling like you're chasing someone's love or attention. This is about you standing in your own personal power here and attracting an energy that is going to mirror what you are putting out into the universe. All right. And lastly here, we have, oh goodness, we have the self. I thought it said the prism, or I thought it was going to be the prism, but it actually says here the self. So I'm going to find this in the guidebook for you. One moment. All right, Sag. The self is the soul, the witness, the watcher. The self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personalities to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress any of its parts, as it lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and a place, and leads us to experience the full breadth of life's offerings. The self is the central abiding container, the awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. When this card appears, it is a call to step back into witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world. Ask yourself, am I the stew or am I the chef? In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is a graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, observing as the spectrum of ingredients becomes the flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. Attempt to see the you behind the you. And didn't that come up earlier? Looking into the mirror here. So this is about witnessing, accepting new aspects of self. When it shows up as the dark, it can be disjointed, fatigued, diffused energy, and purpose. It's no surprise that two central mantras in the yoga tradition concern themselves with the self. Experiment with Soham, I am that, and Sat Nam, which is true identity. If this card is perplexing for you, you are on the right track. It challenges us to expand our senses of identity beyond the little self, and the ego resists such movement. If you want to go further into this energy, Sag, check out or watch Robert Bly read Kabir's poem, This Clay Jug. So Kabir's poem, This Clay Jug, or watch Robert Bly. All right, so the self, and that's what this month is all about, especially with self-love. I feel like you are the observer. That Two of Wands is kind of observing the path, because there is something big opening up for you, but it's up to you to decide which direction, because you are currently undergoing one of the biggest profound spiritual awakenings I feel that you've gone through to date. And there is a beautiful, honest reward showing up here for you. I feel like you are the gift. You are the reward to many. And sometimes we fail to see that. We feel like there's this end goal, this end destination, but it's the journey. And that's what you are observing. That is what I have for you, Sag. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that button. And if you are interested in a personal reading, or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video, or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.